Everyone, my name is Amy Reardon. I am one of the outreach specialists for Delaware Commute Solutions, and we want to thank you for joining our June webinar info series where we are focusing on transit for the month. We do have a guest speaker from DART to review DART transit and the benefits of riding DART. So we could go ahead and move on to the next slide. As we're going through the presentation, if you have any questions, please utilize the chat. There will be a Q&A at the end of the presentation to go over everything. And also, we will be sending out a thank you email as well that will have this information along with all the website links too. So just a brief review of Delaware Commute Solutions before we get into DART's presentation, in case anyone's new to the Delaware Commute Solutions program. We are a free commuter service program of DART for state. We do work with employers, employees, higher education institutes, and different organizations throughout the state of Delaware to assist with transportation options. We do this because our goal is to reduce the number of single occupancy vehicles on Delaware's highways, which is going to improve the air quality of Delaware and also reduce traffic congestion. And we do this by encouraging all modes of clean commuting. And that includes DART as well as SEPTA that comes down from Philadelphia, carpooling, biking and walking, van pooling, compressed work weeks, and working from home. So we encourage you, if you are clean commuting with any of these modes, that you register for Delaware Commute Solutions if you're not already, and then you could utilize the benefits of the program. Or if you want to see what your options are, you can also register for the program and we can show you your different clean commute options. So now I'd like to move on to the next slide, and I'm going to introduce, we have our guest speaker from DART, Albert Loyola, who is the Deputy Chief Customer Experience Officer who's going to be reviewing DART's information with us today. So Albert, I'm going to turn it over to you and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good start to the summer. Today, I kind of just want to go over what we have been doing for the last year and also almost like a year look ahead on what the plans are to make DART services more equitable and efficient for everyone. Just as a background, most of you know, DART is the sole provider of mass transit here in the state of Delaware. We're by this statewide agency, and we provide services out in all three counties, including our seasonal beach service down at Rehoboth and all the way down to Ocean City, Maryland. So with that in mind, we can actually go on to the next slide. With everything with DART, we start with our mission, which is every ride, every customer, every day. That pretty much governs everything that we do, and we try to keep that stick to that mission in everything that we provide for the riding public. Next slide. Just wanted to include our diversity and inclusion statements. You can read on your own, and our environmental statement as well. And then we can go to the next slide if we can. So for the last 18, probably a year and a half, 18 months or so, we went into an initiative called DART Reimagine, which looked at everything that the services that we have out there today, and tried to take a survey of where we are and where we need to go. That included public outreach. It included just looking at our ridership data. It included and just overall bring it all together to try to come up with a phase implementation of where we need to go to make our services more equitable and to expand access to our services throughout the state. So we can go to the next slide. So what came out of this study over 18 months, we actually came up with a final report, which I'll talk about a little later. But it's a phased approach to transit. Just to give a little background, as we all know, the COVID pandemic really affected ridership. back in from like 2020 to about 2022. We're still in recovery mode from that, but of course, new traffic patterns and new work schedules really came from that. We're still dealing with the fact that a lot of people do not generally, go to the office every day. So that used to be the case where we had, quite a large percentage of our ridership that would go in every day, Monday to Friday. They go into major employment centers such as Wilmington, Dover, and so forth. And that's not really the case anymore. We are recovering. We're about getting close to about 75% of our pre-pandemic ridership. And but based on that, our service had not really changed, and we're pretty much providing the same service we're providing during the pandemic. So with that in mind, what we're trying to do is trying to look at all the ridership, look at every route throughout the state, at every zone that we serve, and see what's productive and what's not productive, and try to come up with a service plan that actually meets demand and meets the way people work, shop, and go to entertainments throughout the state. With that in mind, the whole goal of this program was it would not happen all at once. We were looking at probably a 3 to 5 year implementation phase. And it all started with phase one, which was just implemented just a couple weeks ago, on May 20th, 2024. And what we did for this service change is, we discontinued certain routes. So you can see we're Route 37, weekday service, and that was all based on ridership. We were looking at the route, and we just saw that nobody was using it to go down. This is more for the Middletown. This route was put in place for the Middletown Amazon. And with that in mind, that we just saw that people weren't using it as much, so we reduced the service. We still do provide weekend service on this route. We're looking at we also the 62 and the 64, which are more also Middletown, but also Short Springs Crossing area for this Route 62. Try to maybe consolidate and make it more efficient. There were a lot of trips on these routes that just were not being utilized, so we made it more efficient. The Route 62 also was affected by the temporary closure of the Fairplay Station near Christiana Hospital in Delaware Park. And that actually was and close to JP Morgan Chase. That is due to track work that's been done, and that construction and repairs will be going all the way through August of this year, and then the station will be brought back online. But the Route 62, even prior to that, was not performing to our standards. It was getting less than 4 passengers per hour at the time. We're closely monitoring it. We do have some, we do communicate with JP Morgan Chase, and they are planning on bringing more folks into the campus, and not eliminate remote working, but making people come back to the office a lot more often, which should hopefully bring the demand up for that service. If that doesn't materialize, we're looking that could also be a potential elimination come the fall. On other routes, the Route 5 now will serve the Christiana Hospital. The Route 15 goes to the Hope Center, which is a transitional shelter, also in the same general area as the hospital, Christiana Hospital and Newcastle. The Route 44 is now no longer going to St. George's. Of course, that's also due to low ridership. And but we did add Sunday service to the Route 9, and that's mostly because of the Amazon facility on Boxwood Road, which has created quite a bit of demand, and it has done quite well since it was implemented. And of course, at Route 301, we expanded on Saturday service, and that just provides the timely connections down to downstate destinations from Newcastle County. Next slide. Now we're actually in the process of putting the proposals together for the fall. And again, we're looking at the potential to discontinue a few routes. The Route 20, which serves the Hockessin area from Wilmington. That route has mostly, I mean, it's a historical route. It's been there for a very long time, but the ridership just does not really equate to having it, continue as is. The 37 on Saturday, which would also be, we're looking at the ridership as there as well. The 42, which provides service to the Route 40 corridor. The Route 40 would still stay down there. It still means so the area will still be served by other routes. The 44 was same general area, and then of course the Route 52, which provides service up to Greenville. That route again is one of those historical routes that's been around for some time, but the ridership just does not warrant it continuing. So we are looking at other types of services that could be implemented in the future in those areas, more like something similar to what we have with microtransit, which is with New York Connect and things like that. So those areas will still have a level of service, but just having a full-time route that goes there, the ridership at this moment just does not warrant that type of service. Continuing on, the Route 18, which provides service all the way to the Pike Creek area. Probably we're looking at just reducing the number of trips and making more of a commuter style service. And then of course the Route 13, which right now currently is serving Bellefonte, the village of Bellefonte up in North Wilmington area. But the ridership is not really, it kind of goes through neighborhood streets. It's not the most efficient way to get, and the ridership is just not there. So just leaving that on Philadelphia Pike, where there's more opportunity for people to get on and off. Next slide, please. So the final report I was talking previously about on DART Reimagine has, some overarching needs, which is to establish a core network, improve service quality, of course, promote a system that's easy to use, enhance the user experience, and safe access. Some of the things that are not listed here is that it also, if the plan is fully implemented, we would increase the number of Delaware residents that will have access to transit that right now do not. We have full access to about a third of our population. That would get it up to about a half, or when full implementation, based on the efficiencies that we'll find, and because of the implementation of microtransit zones throughout the state. Next slide. And I just wanted to say that the final report is available at dartreimagine.com. We do have hard copies of this of this report. If you like, they are limited, but if you would like to get a hard copy, just contact me, and we can definitely get one to you. And that's what I have. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Albert, for the updated information. We really appreciate it. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them. Again, we will be sending out an email with this presentation along with all the website links too. So if you have questions after the fact, you'll be able to reach out to us as well. And as we're waiting for any questions, just a reminder that if you are clean commuting, especially transit, we're highlighting transit for June, to make sure that you are a registered member of Delaware Commute Solutions so that you can record your clean commutes, whether it's transit, carpool, bike, walk, working from home, compressed work weeks and van pooling, because you will get rewarded for your clean commutes. You record them on your profile. You earn 200 points per day per a round trip of clean commuting. And as you accumulate your points, you'll be able to redeem them for over 400 different rewards that we do have. We also have a monthly drawing that you can enter. It's 500 points to enter, and you can enter up to 20 times. And if you are selected as the winner at the end of the month, you will have a variety of gift cards to choose from. And the values of the gift cards do vary per month. But you'll be able to see that under the rewards for the monthly drawing with Delaware Commute Solutions. And don't forget, we also have the guaranteed ride home benefit. So if you do take the bus or you carpool and for some reason you cannot get back home that same way, we are able to reimburse you for an Uber, Lyft, taxi ride home up to 5 times a year. So all this information can be found on our website, or you could contact us and we'd be happy to go over this information with you. So let's go to the next slide just with our contact information as well. So again, I'm Amy Reardon. I'm the outreach coordinator. We also have Kathleen Greer on the call, who is our program manager, and we will be sending Albert's information as well. So if you have questions directly related to the information today, you can reach out to Albert as well. Well, I think we don't have any questions, which means it was a great job, Albert. Thank you again, and we hope you all have a wonderful Thursday, and keep an eye out for the email with all this information that will be coming out to you.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Amy. And thanks everyone for joining us today.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You
Have a
too.
good weekend.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye, everyone.